Hello and welcome to the Downsized. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we look kind of crazy today, don't we?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
It's the Halloween edition.
It's the Halloween cruising edition, actually.
Oh, Halloween cruising edition of the weekly weigh-in. My name is Laraine Durham. I've lost over 50 pounds on a GLP-1 medication. And this is our chance to tell you how our week is going and take some questions from our viewers. This is not medical advice. We're not doctors. We're just regular people, clearly, who lost weight with GLP-1 medications. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Christopher Durham. Absolutely. If you don't know where we are currently in the Caribbean, just off the coast of the Dominican Republic. We did a excursion today. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later. And as Laraine said, this is our opportunity to talk about our week, what went on with our weight, what we ate, all that kind of fun stuff.
It's Sunday, October
25th or 26th? Yeah, 26th.
26th, Sunday, October 26th, 2025. And so we are on the Royal Caribbean Freedom of the Seas. And tonight is Halloween night. I think they did a Halloween night in place of a formal night or a fancy night. So Christopher said, well, I bought a new suit. You could buy a sparkly dress and we could go as like 20s style.
Yep, flappers.
We have been traveling since Wednesday, and we flew to Miami. We boarded the cruise ship, and we've been cruising now. This is is it just day 2? Well, we got on, I guess that's day 1. And then day 2 was we were at sea, and now it's day 3. We were in Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. So we did an excursion today. We kind of booked that last minute.
Yep.
We weren't planning on doing an excursion this time, but they had a flash sale, 20% off yesterday. So we decided to check it out, and we ended up picking one with ziplining.
Well, and for those of you following along the weather, there's a large hurricane out in the Caribbean.
What's a hurricane? Melissa?
Melissa, I believe is what it's called. So we've been skating around it and haven't really been impacted too much. A little bit of rough weather, but it hasn't been bad.
We were supposed to go
to Labadee, Haiti first. That got canceled. Then we were supposed to go to Grand Turk. That got canceled because it was in the track of the hurricane. So they moved us to the Dominican Republic, which was lovely. It's very windy here, though, as well. I'll tell you, up on the ziplining towers, the wind was howling through.
Yeah, and yesterday for our day at sea, like there's the main pool deck, and then there's a deck above that overlooks the pool. Do you like my gloves? And that was completely closed. So everybody was kind of squished on the main pool deck, and it was a little crowded, but that was fine. So today, we did the zipline excursion. It was 4 zip lines over the ocean, which was cool. Like 2 of them were pretty long zip lines, and you're like in the middle of the ocean at one point. And then after that, we had lunch there, and then we had some time on the beach, but the weather, it was cloudy, and the waves were kind of getting stirred up. So I didn't get in. I just kind of stuck my toe in. But people were getting in, but the waves were kind of just tossing them around for the most part.
Yep.
The interesting thing about the zip line is pre-GLP-1s, we wouldn't have been able to do it because...
Well, you would have, but I would not have.
I would have. But Christopher wouldn't. We couldn't do these things previously because they have a weight limit. I think this weight limit was 265 pounds.
And I was 286.4 my starting weight.
And they also told you, you have this harness that you put on to do the zip lining, and it's, it goes over each leg, and they pull it up and they cinch it around your waist. And they said if the harness doesn't fit on you, even if you meet the weight requirement, you can't do it. And there were a couple of people in our group that I was a little worried about, but they made it. They made it. But I was a little worried for them. But it was fine. Yeah.
I think so too. So for those of you who haven't seen us cruise and travel before, you may wonder, well, how do you do your weigh-in? Do you actually weigh yourself? Yes, we do. We're that crazy. Laraine, I have a scale.
Well, we have a travel scale, and I tried to weigh myself on it this morning, but we hadn't come into the port yet, so the numbers were kind of flitting around.
So if the ship is rocking, it's almost impossible to get a good weigh on it. Now, I actually weighed this morning right after we came into port on it, and it was fine.
Yeah. So the travel scale is a pound heavier than my home scale, which is annoying. But I know that going in, so I just know that. And then my weight was, I guess, 1 pound higher, with the travel scale adjustment and everything. So my weight is up 1 pound from last week. That's fine. How was your weight?
Let's see, I started at 286.4, as we said, 2 years ago, right? We started September 2023. If you're new here, you get to hear the story again. If you're old here, you get to hear the story again because we tell the story. It is what it is. Today, where did my post-it note go? I don't even know.
How much did you weigh today?
Well,
You
I don't
just
remember.
know?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
don't
didn't tell
remember.
my weight. Do you want me to tell my weight?
Yeah, tell your weight.
I started at 193 pounds on September 29th of 2023. Today, I weighed, adjusted for my thing, 145. So that's 48 pounds down from my highest. I hover right around that 50-pound mark. So I'm up a little bit right now, and that's okay. I'm in maintenance. I've been in maintenance for the past year and a half almost. I lost an average of 1.58 pounds per week as I lost weight, and after I hit my first goal weight, I started dropping down in my medication. So this week I took a 7.5 milligram dose of tirzepatide.
Yep, and my weight was 187 pounds, so I was down, what's that, just under 100 pounds. You guys can do the math. I cannot. What's that make it? 98 point something?
I think you're 101.
No, I was at 187. I started at 286, so I'm not quite at 100.
Well, 186 would be 100 pounds.
Right, I was at 187.
So you're less than 100 pounds.
We're not quite at 100, correct.
All right.
That's what I said.
Is that what you said?
It is
All
what
right.
I said, yes.
What else?
So that's it. I'm on a 15 milligram dose.
These gloves are bothering me.
Yeah, we can take them off.
All right.
Continue to be on a 15 milligram dose almost, I don't know, a little more than 50 weeks. It works just fine for me. I don't really have much side effects at all. Food noises kept at bay. I just kind of keep chugging along. My goal is to stay within a few pounds of 185, so 2 pounds, 3 pounds up or down, one way or the other, and it's stayed right there.
Yeah, we took our shot on Friday, as per usual. Friday's our shot day. We brought our shots with us. Do you want to show the travel case?
We will, because there's a question later. We'll show you.
We brought our shots with us, and we asked our cabin steward for a sharps container, which he brought us, which we put our used syringes in, so they take care of that for you. You just have to ask your cabin steward for that.
Why don't you grab the sharps container?
I didn't want to stand up.
Yep. See, if you ask, they'll just, and they're included in your fare.
So you
Not a
can
big
see
deal.
our two are in there, and I guess these just, I mean, we're done with it, right? Because we're not going to be on here another Friday, so we'll just close that, and then we'll leave it in the room, and they just take it away. Easy peasy. Okay.
Yeah, pretty non-eventful, honestly. We have now cruised, I don't know, 7-8 times on the medication.
At least. I mean, we've been on it 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. We like to cruise a lot. We look for deals, and we're fortunate enough where we own our own business and we work from home. Anywhere there's internet, we can still work, and we use airline points to fly to Florida for cruises.
And if you cruise during hurricane season, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
There might be a hurricane coming, but we've never actually gotten hit by one yet.
By one yet. No, I mean the sea's a little rocky. It is a little rougher from the winds from the hurricane. I think today the hurricane is around Jamaica, so we're on the other side of Dominican Republic from Jamaica.
Yep.
And I think that's one reason why they came into this Puerto Plata, because I mean, here's Jamaica, here's Dominican Republic, and we're on the eastern side of the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
So
All right. Questions?
why not?
So if you'd like to submit a question to us, you can absolutely do it. Just put it in the comments underneath this video. Make sure you use the question mark. That way when I have YouTube sort it, YouTube will automatically look for questions for me. It just makes my life a little bit easier. We get a lot of comments these days, so I don't want to miss anybody's thing. And if I did miss yours, submit it again. I'll catch it next week. But anyway, the first one is from Sherry Dodds. She says, do you think that maintenance is the hardest part of the weight loss journey? I'm so worried I'll gain weight back.
It's all hard. Before I went on a GLP-1 medication, I was on Weight Watchers for years, right? Off and on Weight Watchers pretty much my whole life. And I always heard people say, oh, losing weight's the easy part. It's keeping it off that's the hard part. And I would be like, no, it's very hard for me to lose weight. Like, I really had to struggle to lose like a half a pound or a pound a week at Weight Watchers. I feel like now with the GLP-1 medication, it's less of a struggle, right? You can still help yourself have better results by eating high protein and drinking water and getting some movement in and, eating all those things, right? But I feel like the losing weight part this time on the GLP-1 was not as hard as losing weight on other diets I've tried in the past.
Well, it was possible.
It was possible. I mean, I really lost weight just about every week. So now I've been in maintenance for a year and a half, and is that hard? It's hard to figure out where you want to stay in terms of a maintenance weight, right? You might have to play around with that, and I'm still kind of playing around with it. I mean, I'm 5'5", I'm 56 years old, and so my maintenance weight is between 140 and 145 pounds. And that's kind of where I stay. It's kind of where I like to be closer to 140, and I think today I'm 145. That's just kind of how it is. I still weigh myself every day. That's just what I've always done, and maybe someday I'll be able to work through that mentally and not have to do that. But I haven't weighed myself every day we've been traveling. I just weighed myself today. And if you'd have told me I was going to be traveling with a travel scale over 2 years ago, I would say you're crazy. Because I remember I went on a diet one time. I think it was called the Hollywood diet. And the lady who wrote the book talked about taking her travel scale in her luggage and taking it with her. And I just remember thinking, that is just the craziest thing I have ever heard of. And now here we are with the travel scale. But the hardest part, for me, I am going to continue to take my shot weekly, long term, whatever long term means, right? Maybe forever, maybe until something newer or better comes out in terms of a GLP-1 medication. And I really get, Sherry says, I'm so worried I'll gain weight back. And I think that is true for every single person who has ever done this, gone on any kind of weight loss journey ever. The fear of the weight regain is, I kind of get fear just kind of thinking about it, right? Gaining all the weight back. And that's why I think it took me so long to get rid of all my too big clothes, because every other time I've been on a diet, the weight's always come back. Now, it hasn't with the GLP-1, and I think as long as I keep taking my GLP-1 and I, stay on track, it's not going to come back. I finally did get rid of all the rest of the clothes, and that's all I can do is keep taking my shot, keep working at it, but I have to work at it every day. I think if we stop doing what we did to lose the weight, then, you might start seeing some creep back on, right?
Well, we've probably used the word hardest. I don't know that the word hardest is the correct word. It's the longest, because it's the rest of your life.
Well, it's the rest of your life.
It's the rest of your life, right? So, really, for me, it took, 18 months, 19 months or something to get to goal weight, which in the scheme of what I hope is a very long life, another 20, 30, 40 years, I'd be 96. That'd be awesome, right? I have a grandfather who lived almost that age, so it's not impossible. But that year and a half, basically, is really a blip in that. So then it's
how are you going to live your
how
life?
are you going to live your life, and what are the habits and the medical practices, so taking medication, what are all those things that you have to do to use to ensure that life is what you want it to be. I think the biggest thing, honestly, for us is this, and I think I talked about it last week, was mindset. It's now that you've obtained this unobtainable goal, what's the next thing?
Never thought it was attainable.
Because once you have that, well, you can't just not have a goal, right? I mean, it's life. There's always something else.
What's the next thing to work on? Maybe fine-tuning your diet. Maybe fine-tuning your muscle mass.
Maybe it's not about your body at all. Maybe it's about your mind. Maybe it's about your job. Maybe it's about your faith. Maybe it's about your kids. I don't know, but there's a great, big, beautiful world out there. I don't know, maybe I want to take up painting. I don't know what it is.
Well, and just with the space where you don't have the food noise anymore, I feel like I've freed up so much brain power to think about other things now. It's very freeing. So everybody's worried they're going to gain the weight back. I'm worried I'm going to gain the weight back. That's why I'm not going to stop taking the medication. I'm going to keep doing my exercise routine. I'm going to keep eating my protein. I'm going to keep drinking my water. And I'm going to keep trying to do all the things that I've been doing. And it's just a daily, it's just how we live now.
But I mean, the interesting thing, I don't wake up every day thinking this is hard. I really don't.
No, I don't.
It's not a slog. It's not a punishment.
I don't feel like I'm depriving myself. Mm-mm. I don't feel like, oh, poor me, I'm on a diet forever, because I'm not, right? This isn't, I don't feel like I'm on any kind of weight loss plan. I feel like this is now my lifestyle, and this is how I choose to eat, and this is how I choose to live.
Okay, absolutely. All right. In response to our "Are you afraid to take your first shot?" video, Eric the Amateur says, "I just received my Zepbound, and honestly, it scares me to death. It's been in my fridge for 3 days. No fear of shots or needles, but I do fear failure. What if I fail?
What if?
I know it will do what it's designed to do, but what if I'm not strong enough to overcome my stubborn habits? I'm 59, 5'9", at 270 pounds. Pretty close to where I was. Mm-hmm. I've got all the health issues associated with the obesity I've been denying for years. I once was quite muscular, but over time life happened. LOL. I'm glad I found your channel. I have subscribed to. I hope I don't annoy you with too many questions. Thank you." Where you and I mean, we're pretty close. You're a little bit older than I am. I think I'm a smidgen taller. Just like in the last question, this is a mind shift. My biggest tip is always take the shot. Just take the shot. If you're not sure what to do that week, take the shot. The only reason you don't take the shot is if there's a medical reason and your doctor says you have to have a colonoscopy, you have to, whatever it is, you and your doctor, and that's the only reason to not take your shot. But you're afraid of failure, and you're afraid that you're not strong enough. So the root of that phrase says that it's your responsibility, that you made yourself fat. And what we now know is you didn't wake up and decide to be fat. We have the disease of obesity. Okay. And it's a disease, and it does not absolve us of personal responsibility. We can certainly harm ourselves, but it's a disease that can be treated medically, so that medical treatment is not dependent on whether you're strong or not. Now, can you assist that? Absolutely you can, and by doing habits, and there's a lot of things that you can do to assist it, but it has nothing to do with your willpower, your strength, your morality, any of that stuff. It has to do with, did you take your shot? And then what are you doing each day to learn those better habits and help the medicine along? Is that...
Yeah, it's been in this fridge for 3 days. I think ours was in our fridge for a couple of weeks before we started. I was terrified. I mean, I don't like taking shots. I never give myself a shot before. What do you mean? But the part where he says, what if I fail? Right? Because I know for me, every other diet ended up in failure, anything else I've ever done, right? But what if you don't fail? What if you lose the weight you want to lose and get yourself healthy and develop a whole new lifestyle? Like, I mean, we can play the what if game all day long, right? He says, what if I'm not strong enough to overcome my stubborn habits? What are your stubborn habits?
And what I would tell you is there is a small percentage of people who this medication does not work for. And even if that happens, it's not your failure. It's they didn't have the right medication for you yet.
Right.
And there's more in development.
More coming.
There's
Right.
more coming. So it'll be okay. I think you said we were having a conversation in the comments, and I think you said you were going to take yours on Friday. So I hope you did.
Oh, hopefully. Yeah. So just get started. I would say just get started. Just take your shot, and you don't have to work on everything on day one, right? Take small steps. Maybe drink an extra glass of water today, or maybe eat some, a few more bites of chicken breast and get some more protein in. Just those stubborn habits. I don't know what your stubborn habits are. Maybe you like to sit in front of the TV and eat Doritos. I don't know, but I think you'll find that what these medications do in terms of taking away your thinking about food, taking away your hunger level, it's just going to change the way you think about food and how you eat. Get started. What if you don't fail?
I think you might discover that the stubborn habits were the disease of obesity controlling you, and this medication will give you control over those things.
Oh, I've got a good example of that.
Sure.
One of my stubborn habits was every day at 3 o'clock I wanted a snack. Every day at 3 o'clock I was going to that pantry for a snack, or I'd be at my desk at work and I would get out my kashi bar or my yogurt or whatever I brought for a snack, because my brain would say, you need food, and you need food right now, and you need to have a snack right now. And so if you'd ask me, I say, yeah, my habit is I have a snack at 3 o'clock. I don't have that habit anymore because my brain is not telling me at 3 o'clock that it's snack time. I don't sit here and think about what's in my pantry all day long, or what's in my desk drawer that I could eat, or what's in the vending machine down the hall. I just don't think about that anymore. A lot of days I look up, it's 5 o'clock, and I'm done. Let's start thinking about dinner. So yeah, a lot of those habits you may find were driven by the disease of obesity, not because I like to snack.
So there's something wrong with
I mean?
There's not, man. You're good. Take the shot. That's all I can tell you. And don't assume it magically changes things overnight.
Yeah, give it 90 days, right?
Give it 90 days. Just take the shot. For some people it works very quickly on. For some people it takes a little while. And it's different for every one of us. So good luck, man. You got it. All right, next question from Linho1051. She says, not a GLP-1 question, but still curious where you two stay in Miami the night before a cruise. We're looking to cruise out of there next year.
We honestly, we stay in different places every time because I look for deals. And I used to be a Marriott, well, I still am kind of a Marriott loyalist. I think I have lifetime platinum Marriott status. But lately, our conferences and things that we did for our other business, I ended up with a lot of Hilton points. So now we've been staying in a lot of Hilton properties. We like in Miami, we like the downtown Brickell area of Miami. So we've stayed in a Hampton Inn down there. We stayed in a Homewood Suites down there. But really, I just look for good deals, low points, or low cost. And I see people that are going on the cruise. I'm in the Facebook group with this cruise. People stay all over the place. I really just say, find one that hits your price point. If you want one that, some of them have a shuttle to the cruise port. Some of them will pick you up from the airport and bring you in.
A lot of people like to stay close to the airport because you can hop right on their bus, go straight to the hotel.
Yeah.
And then usually those shuttles will cost you $15 or something like that to get to the port.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. So yeah, we kind of move around. Honestly, I like to see different parts of the city. So if I'm going, I want to try out something new. Mm-hmm. All right, you want to read that one?
Sure. This is from Julie Mendoza. Could you please talk about your experience switching providers? I am currently paying $4.99 per month, but would like to switch providers, telehealth providers, in order to save money. Is it difficult to approach a new provider about continuing care at a cheaper cost? Generally, what you want to do is you want to tell your new provider, with your new telehealth, hey, I've been on tirzepatide for X number of weeks. I've been on this dose, this dose, this dose. I've lost this amount of weight in this time. My starting weight was this. I'm this tall, right? Have all your facts and figures for them and say, maybe if you're still in your weight loss journey, say, I'd still like to lose another X number of pounds, or I'm in maintenance and I really, I've been on this journey for a year or 6 months and now I want to just continue. Just be be sure you tell them your original starting weight, right? And how this medicine has worked for you over time. If you have like a chart that you've kept, or maybe you're in your Scale app, or in your Me Again app, you can tell them, you can have that right there. Because a lot of times these telehealth doctors, they'll spend as much time with you as they need to, but it's probably going to be a pretty quick appointment. So you want to make sure you're hitting the high points so they know where you're coming from. Right.
Well, so the way telehealth typically works is when you go to the website, there are screening questions that ask about your weight and all that. Mochi, who we use, has now added a question on theirs, which would be applicable to you, that says, have you been using GLP-1s?
Oh.
And it kind of lets you pass the gate. And then it lets you set up an appointment with a prescriber. Might be a doctor, might be a
nurse
practitioner, but it's going to be just like a doctor's appointment you'd have at home. You come on a Zoom kind of call with them, and they ask you about your history. They might ask you for a scan or a picture of your prescription, or they want proof, right? They're not just going to write random prescriptions to people.
I think one viewer reported that their nurse practitioner wanted her to take a picture of the number on the scale as she stood on it.
Yeah,
they just want to see, and I think that's a good thing, right? I always want to go with a telehealth provider where you talk to a doctor or a nurse practitioner, that medical professional. If your telehealth provider is just writing your prescription and never talking to you, I don't know. That's not for me. I want to talk to someone who I can ask questions and they can put me on the right track. I currently use Mochi. My Mochi code is in the description if you want to save on your first order.
All right. In response to my video, GLP-1 saved my life, average is my goal, which you guys have said a lot of lovely things to. Thank you. C.S. Sibley's says, thank you, Christopher, for this powerful message. Sometimes we have to take a pause and reevaluate our goals. Are they realistic? Do they make sense from where we are today? Do they empower us? Christopher, you might be aiming for average for your health goals, but one thing I can tell you, sir, is that you are extraordinary when it comes to inspiring and encouraging us on your health journey. Thank you, Laraine, and thank you and Laraine for all you do. God bless you. Well, thank you very much. I mean, it's a goals question for me, and I like how you phrased that. Sometimes we have to take a pause and reevaluate our goals. Are they realistic? Do they make sense? It's kind of like conversation we were having about maintenance, right? It's what do goals become? Right, you want to take that one?
This is from Pam Marsh 6377. Said, have you ever said your other business? If not, okay. I don't know why you want me to say. You can say it.
Oh, yeah, we say it all the time. It's just not something we highlight. So basically, about 15 years ago, 20 years ago almost, I was working for retailers at the time, the second largest home improvement retailer in the country, Lowe's Home Improvement, and I started a blog about the private brand industry. And the private brand industry is the industry that manufactures and sells all of the brands that retailers own. So if you shop at Costco and you buy Kirkland Signature, Costco owns Kirkland Signature, and there's a whole infrastructure of people who design the packages, manufacture the products, distribute the products, or Walmart and Great Value, or Bloomingdale's and Bloomingdale's, or you name it, across every category. Staples has one, Office Depot has one, Petco has one, they all have them. And somewhere along the way in that 15, 20 years in writing that blog, I became an expert and kind of built this whole social media business around it that evolved into what is basically a trade association. So a gathering of people in that private brand industry, and we produce conferences, where we have the leaders from retailers around the world come in and speak. Walmart, Target, Kroger, you name it. We have a package design competition called the Vertex Awards. That if you see us go to Amsterdam, that's what we're doing there for the private brand industry. It also gives us insight into the packaged goods industry. So we don't work for any manufacturers or have anything to do with that, but they all come and want to meet the retailers. But I have been in a lot of food factories. I know a lot of manufacturers. So when we talk about processed foods and all of that, I have special insight into that a lot of people don't have, to the point of 2 years ago, right after our first conference that we did after we had been on GLP-1s, I did a presentation about GLP-1s when I had lost about 65 pounds. So it was kind of startling to people. And the whole thing was how GLP-1s are going to change the food industry and the grocery industry. Kind of freaked people out. You can go watch it. It's on the channel if you'd like to. So that's what we do. You can look it up if you want, the Velocity Institute. It's very business to business. It's not really a consumer-facing company.
Yep. The next one's from Danny Tiggies. 6105, is the influx of protein-added foods everywhere I seem to look the result of GLP-1 users? Yes. Yes, it is.
It's probably a bigger trend than just GLP-1 users, but I do think we're driving it.
Well, protein, it seems to be the focus right now. You know, remember in the 90s it was sugar and we had SnackWells, and then it was fat and everything was fat-free, and then, you know, keto came, and then everybody was like, no, fat is good. And so now it's more of a question of people that know things are saying, you know, muscle is good, protein is good to help you keep your muscle, to help you stay full longer. Everybody seems to be focusing on protein, GLP-1 or not, but I think the GLP-1 crowd is influencing that pretty heavily.
Oh, for sure. All right, next question is from Samina Hashmi, 7430. They say, hi guys, do you think anybody who have only 10 to 15 stubborn pounds to lose will have a hard time to lose faster than someone who has a lot to lose? Samina, there's a lot going on there. I would tell you, make sure you talk to your doctor. We don't know anything about your health. We don't know anything about what else is going on in your life. Are you a type 2 diabetic? Do you have PCOS? Do you have sleep apnea? There's all kinds of things that could be going on there. So we certainly don't know anything about that. Typically, these medications are written to people who have 30 pounds or more to lose, have a higher BMI, and some sort of combination of comorbidities. That being said, that's not always the case, so talk to your doctor. We don't judge anybody on how much weight they have to lose.
You know, and 10 to 15 pounds can be just as hard to lose for somebody, you know, maybe I lost 50, maybe your 10 or 15 is going to be just as hard for you and take you just as long as it took me to lose 50. But, you know, really, you know, I don't know. If you don't have 10 or 15 pounds, it may be a lot to you. It may feel like, you know, it's really weighing you down and you really want to do something about it. Definitely start with your doctor. Definitely start there. Generally, these GLP-1s are prescribed for people with a BMI of 28 or higher. And BMI is just kind of a screening tool. But definitely, you know, if you're concerned, talk to your doctor. And, you know, the average weight loss on a GLP-1 medication is anywhere from a half a pound to 2 pounds a week.
So if you're looking at Facebook groups, Reddit, and all that, you see people talking about how much weight they lose. Yes, the people who have a lot of weight to lose are going to lose more pounds faster. They just are. If you've got 400 pounds, and if you're 400 and you need to lose 250, you're going to lose a lot more pounds more quickly than someone who has 15 pounds to lose. But it's a function of percentage. Right? We don't know what percentage of your weight that 15 if it's just, and honestly, the closer you get to your goal weight, the slower you're going to lose. We see it every day. I have personally experienced it. Just happens. So it's very possible, but talk to your doctor. Please talk to your doctor.
Dimitri something says, I have a quick question. I am going on a luxury cruise line with the wife, presently on a GLP-1 med. How did you deal with all the great food and not want to eat it? Did you get sick? Love your videos with your wife. You folks are the best. There's a lot of food on a cruise ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of food, and you say luxury cruise, so this is where the cruise geek in me kind of comes out.
Oh.
There's a couple of different levels of cruises. So there's what I would call mainstream cruise lines that are Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, and then there's the next step up, which is premium, which is Celebrity, Princess, and a few others. And then the next step up, I would say, is that luxury piece, and it's Seabourn and Viking, and there's a whole list. Oceania, there's a whole list of them. Just like in restaurants, where you kind of go from Chili's, down here all the way up to true fine dining. Typically, the quality of the food goes.
Sorry, Chili's.
Yep. Sorry. I mean, they don't pretend to be true fine dining. The quality of the food goes up and the portions go down, which blows Americans' mind. But basically, we've been taught that we should be getting our value, which means pounds of food. When you eat at a Chili's or wherever, and it's all about, did I get a lot? Well,
my money's worth.
Right,
Did I get my money's worth?
As you eat at better restaurants, the portions get smaller, which freaks people out. It just does. It also means that on a luxury line, it should be easier to eat and not have an issue.
Well, there is a lot of, on any cruise, there is a lot of food. Okay, there's a lot of food. You will not be able to eat all the food that you see. You just will not. It won't fit. And if you try to make it fit, it's not going to fit. Okay, choose carefully, choose wisely, be very choosy with the foods you select and put on your plate or that you order at the restaurant, right? There's a lot of choices, and not every choice I make is necessarily GLP-1 friendly, right? If you're in a buffet situation, survey the whole buffet. I took something yesterday at breakfast that looked really, really good. So I really, really wanted it. And then I got it and I ate a bite of it and I was like, this isn't that good. So I didn't eat the rest of it.
There is no clean plate club. You do not have to eat it all.
Right? There's a lot of good protein choices on a cruise, right? Because even at dinner, like last night I had salmon. There's usually a steak option. There's usually they had a baked chicken if you really want to go that route. There's usually a fish. So just choose very, very carefully. And I allow myself some treats, like we're on a cruise. So, last night I got dessert. I got the apple crumble. It was delicious. I ate it. It was fine. You know what I mean? But I didn't get like 6 desserts, and I didn't get like, I had, what did we have last night? I had a Caesar salad. Mm-hmm. I had a piece of salmon. Yeah. I think it had some mashed potatoes and some vegetables on the side.
But it's a little tiny amount. It's not.
And then I had the
thing about most cruise meals is they assume people are going to order multiple in the dining room.
Yeah.
So the portions are generally on the smaller side anyway. Don't order multiple to begin with. Order one. And if you want more, they will always bring you more. But order one and I bet you'll be fine.
And the other day for lunch, I really felt like I had been falling down on my vegetables, right? I had not been getting vegetables. So they have a lovely salad bar. Every cruise ship I've ever been on has a lovely salad bar. So I got a salad with carrots and tomatoes and cucumbers and chickpeas and some hard-boiled egg and some grilled chicken on top of it. Easy peasy. There's no reason why you can't still eat, towards your goals. But there are a lot of desserts. I'm a desserts girl. I like the desserts. Mm-hmm. I like the desserts. So I'm going to pick what I think is the best looking dessert, and I'm going to try it. And if I like it, I'm going to eat it. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. But I don't get 6 desserts. I'll pick 1 or maybe 2.
But start with your protein.
Yeah.
Start with your protein. Eat your vegetables. And then have a little bit of carb, whatever that may be, and we don't ban any foods. And then if you want a little treat, have a little treat. But it's all about moderation, right? And this is a vacation, so enjoy yourself.
I got some kiwi. I got a kiwi fruit on the breakfast buffet this morning because when I interviewed Gianna, the dietitian, she talked about kiwis being, in her book, kiwis are good for constipation. So I'm like, ooh, let me get some of this kiwi and get some of that going. You know, maybe it's an opportunity also to try a new fruit that you haven't
Try new things,
had before.
absolutely.
Oh, and also when we were at lunch today, after we did the zip lining, they prepared a lunch for us, and they had some great fresh, was it papaya or mango? I think it was mango. They had some fresh mango cut up, and they also had fresh coconut, because there's all these coconuts growing all over the place, and they just chop them up, and it's like, I've never had like fresh.
Was it delicious?
Coconut. Yeah, it was really, really good. Anyway, so try new things.
Yeah. So you got this. You can do it. Take it one day at a time. All right. Patty 4KS says, have you, either of you, and this is in response to our video about the Simple Truth Kroger protein line, have either of you used this? The remove the last number trick is a fast way to estimate it if a snack is high in protein. Take the calorie count and drop the last digit. If the grams of protein are equal to or higher than that number, the snack is likely a good source of protein. For example, a snack with 110 calories is considered high in protein if it has 11 or more grams. This rule is a useful guide, but remember that overall calorie intake and the balance of your entire day's diet are also important. Thank you. I have not used it because I don't buy protein-added stuff. I wouldn't have bought any of that stuff. I only eat real food, and I don't typically snack.
Yeah, back in my old Weight Watchers days, I would calculate, or I would, look up the Weight Watchers points for each protein bar that I was eating, and I always found that some of them definitely had less points than others, and points are based on calories, fat, carbs, fiber, all the things. And I have heard this drop the zero trick off the end, but I mean, it's not really like a hard and fast rule. I mean, for me, generally, when I'm looking to eat a protein bar, it's a snack, right? It's not a meal replacement. So I want it to be between 100 and 200 calories at the highest end, but somewhere around 150, 160, 180 calories. And if it has 10 to 15 grams of protein in it, I think that's a pretty decent amount. Just for a rule of thumb, that drop the zero thing could be good.
Yeah.
Are now sponsored by a company called BioCare that makes protein bars. So I said, let me look and see how they are on that. Their protein bars have 15 grams of protein and 160 calories. So they're right there, right? The total fat is 5, sodium is 160, carbs are 18, sugars are 10, protein 15. And it's got a lot of other added nutrients too. I said, all right, my snack's a good snack. You can see the link in the description if you're interested in purchasing, and you can use our code Downsized to save an additional 20% off your order.
So BioCare, and you guys know I don't love things like this. A couple of these, so I like crunchier things. I don't like chewier things. It's just a personal preference. You do you. She likes the chewy things. A couple of these are pretty good.
Yeah, I like the chocolate ones. So those are my favorite. And they made a bundle for me of all the chocolate things. You can look in the link in the description to see the link to Lorraine's favorites for a special deal on that.
So we had a couple of other kind of clusters of questions that I'll address as a whole. So there was a couple of questions around some of our prior review videos. I think we didn't say sugars in them. They said, well, why didn't you talk about sugars? Don't you look for sugars? To be quite frank, no, we don't. So we didn't read them. We will try to in the future, because I know there are people. I think there was one we missed reading the sugars.
People did ask for that, and I know we have a lot of type 2 diabetics that are on these GLP-1 medications, so we have tried to include it, but occasionally we might miss something.
And honestly, to me, basically if you look at a packaged good like that, you're either getting calories from sugar or from fat. So as long as that calorie goal is down, unless you're a type 2 diabetic, I don't worry about it. I don't eat most processed snacks, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I've tried these and I like them.
And the processed snacks that I truly love, Oreos and Tate's chocolate chip cookies, I'm not reading the sugar in them because I know I'm not surprised.
Well, you're not eating those.
Can't remember the last time I had an Oreo, but that's my favorite.
No.
It is. The other one was somebody recommended, hey, you should have a dietitian on the channel. We did.
We've interviewed a couple.
Right. So we've interviewed a couple. Most recently, Gianna, the dietitian.
Gianna Beasley. She has a book called, is it the GLP-1? Oh, it's in our Amazon store. So if you go to our Amazon store, click the link, you can see her.
And you can go back and watch her. It's just been in the last few
weeks. Or
weeks.
just search
Gianna.
dietitian or Gianna, and it should come right up.
And we're always looking for more doctors, dietitians, nutritionists, anybody who has professional training in this sorts of things that can bring a different level of
well, and that's why we're
education.
going to Obesity Week in Atlanta the first week of November, because we want to interview doctors and people in the medical profession, researchers who have written papers and are presenting them at Obesity Week about these GLP-1 medications. We're always looking for doctors to interview. If you're a doctor, send me an email.
So we will be in Atlanta that first week. We will also be doing a meetup there in Atlanta at the Westin Peachtree Plaza. If you'd like to come out and meet us, it's an absolutely free meetup. It's very casual. We kind of hang out. I give out JoJo pins. We talk to people. You can go to our website at thedownsized.org and RSVP for that. I think there's about 40 people RSVP'd for that right now. And some of the doctors will be there. Dr. Robin Pashby's coming. If you guys loved her. And then we'll be doing interviews. I think there's 6 or 8 interviews scheduled right now over 2 days. There's three professors from Cornell who are interviewing. Dr. Pashby we're interviewing. I think Spencer Nadolsky's on board too. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen there. And then a few weeks later, we will go to Vegas and do a meetup. We're going to see Kelly Clarkson in concert the night before. Meet all of you at the Caesars Palace, at the bar in the lobby of the Caesars Palace. And then we'll hop on a plane from there and go to Chicago, where we're doing an event with our other business. And then I think it's Tuesday night. I won't remember the date, but you can go to the website and get it. We will be on Michigan Avenue, right downtown Chicago. You can come meet us. So go to thedownsized.org, click on Meetups, and you can RSVP for those.
Yep, there's other things on our website, thedownsized.org too. You can click on the cruise tab and see how you can join us on a cruise.
On this ship.
This Freedom of the Seas in 2026. It's June 2026. So if you're interested in going on a cruise with us, go to thedownsized.org and you can click on cruise and see the information for our travel agent, Kelly and Roberta, and contact them to see all the things with that. So we came on Freedom of the Seas. We saw a great deal on it, and we wanted to check it out for our Downsized cruise that's happening in June.
All right. Is that it for us this week?
I didn't say that we're Amazon affiliates. We make a small commission on each purchase. Your clicking through our link helps support our channel, so thank you for that.
Oh, and for those of you who saw me on the live this week, really stuffy and terrible, and I had quite the cold, it really went away after a day.
Yeah, it really seemed to be a 24-hour
Thank
thing.
you for the kind words and all the suggestions, though. I do appreciate it, but I got some Mucinex.
Yeah, no,
And it's fine.
He's good, so that's
we were
good.
ziplining away today.
We were. They had another excursion where you only ziplined, like no beach, no. And I was going to do that one, and then after we booked the one we booked, he said, "Oh, I'm glad you didn't do the one with all the zip lines, because I don't know, because you have to climb a lot of steps."
Yeah.
And he was like, just
the problem with being congested
not
is
feeling great.
And I'm probably 90% better, but there's still a little bit. So you lose a little oxygen volume, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, that's
Thanks
it for us this week.
watching Halloween edition of
Halloween Cruise Edition.
The Downsized. It's not the Downsized dish. This is the weekly weigh-in. See, this costume, it's got me all forgetting what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no worries. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us. We are filming from the Caribbean, just off the coast of the Dominican Republic, and we will see you next time on The Downsized. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are The Downsized.
Bye.